presentation is on the website you can use called musictheory.net. It's a great website. I've used it before in the past, even to study with my friends. Like we've used it to test each other on. It's a great source for if you want to do study orals, you want to study how to build chords, anything music theory, piano, guitar, anything you want to practice. Now, like I said, you could use chord building, so it'll test you on how to build like um, minor chords, major chords, diminished chords, any seventh chord you want, major seventh, minor seventh, half diminished seventh, whatever you want. Does ear training, so it'll play you something and you have to kind of play it back on like maybe a keyboard sometimes, or you can use also it'll play like melodic and harmonic dictations for you, so you play back like the chord names or just the base of the chord. It'll have you note names, so it'll give you notes on a staff, and it'll have you name the each note individually, and it'll go through different clefs. Like I believe it goes through treble, alto, tenor, bass, all the clefs that you want. It gives you interval identification, so it'll play different intervals for you, and you can either do this where it'll show you the interval or it won't show you the interval, and you have to hear it, and then it'll show you the interval and you have to name what type of interval it is and also do dictation things so you just like play back what it just played you. Now, the benefits to using music theory is you can work at your own pace. Now, I like this because sometimes when you're in like class, you might miss something that your teacher goes over and you might not know exactly what to do. And it might be hard for you to keep up with your class. So it's a nice resource to use out of class. And you can even use it to teach your friends or to study with your friends. And it allows you to work at a pace that's comfortable for you, and you can also customize the lessons you want. So if you want to study certain intervals or you want to study certain like chord progressions, you can do that and just only do those practices. And another nice thing is you can do it an infinite amount of times to practice until you get it right, or just keep practicing until you can't get things wrong. Now, things that I found out about it is it also lets you practice guitar and keyboard, which I didn't know until I was just looking at the website recently. Is it allows you to practice like fretboard things and keyboard, different like keyboard fingerings. And I think it will be good is it's useful for students who are better at working at their own pace. So especially for kids who have like a learning disability and can't keep up in like class normally, it's good for those kids because they can work at their own pace and they're not challenged with keeping up with the rest of the class because maybe they can't learn as fast, and it'll be helpful for them to go at their own pace so they can keep up. They can still know the same things as their class, just they have to get there at their own level. And it's also useful for classes that do not meet as often. I know this is a problem in the music world where you have music class. Like I know in elementary school for me it was at least like you have it like one day a week, and that was music class. Now I think this would be great in that situation, even though those are like elementary schoolers, is they can practice what they need to outside of class, even though they don't have that class every single day. I think that's why it's a really good benefit, is that you can use it whenever, that you don't have to go to class to use musictheory.net. Now, I think it relates to what we learn in MUE202 very well because it's useful for students that have learning disabilities. So, again, you can learn at your own pace outside of the classroom. I think that's the biggest help it can give you is that if you can't keep up with the pace of your class, you can keep up with your own. You can do your own pace and learn at your own speed through this website. And I think it's useful for students who need extra help. Say you go to class and you're scared. Like I've dealt with this. I'm sure many of you have, being scared to ask for help. I think this is perfect for kids like that, where and I've used this website multiple times, and also like variations of this website. Like I know there's apps on your phone called like Chet and Ella, which are free. This app is on your phone too, which you have to pay for, I believe. And there's also other websites you can use that help you practice. And it's been great for me because I've like orals has been such a struggle, and I've been able to use this website and other websites to help me get my ear training up and my dictation up and outside of class, because I like it's scary to ask your teacher for help sometimes. So I think this would be a great a great resource for those kids who are like scared to ask for help, and it's also useful in a group setting. So I know this may seem weird because it's been mostly you can use it by yourself, but you can also use it to work with your friends on certain things. So say you and your friend are going over like practicing for a test and you need to do interval identification. Well, you can test each other through the app. And I think that is a great thing to be able to do is that you can use it with your friends. And it I just think the biggest benefit of this app is to be able to work at your own pace until you get things right. Like, it's not like oh, you have 10 questions that you need to get right or whatever. Like, you can do this however many times you want and it'll still score you based on how many you've completed so far. And I think it's great because you can do it 100 times, no matter how much you need practice for. You can do it. And I think that's why it's a great source. Now, that's all I had for my slides, but I just think it's a great resource. It's very helpful for kids, like I've said in this slide. It just you can customize your own lesson. So say you're good at recognizing perfect unisons and perfect thirds and perfect fifths. You need help with like sevenths or seconds or something, say, or sixes. Like I was having trouble with sevenths and sixths. So I went on here and I went through. It might have been another website I also used as well, but I was able to just put on major, minor, sixth, and seventh intervals and just practice those. And it really helps. Like, I think this is a great resource for students who need help outside of the classroom, and also for students who who struggle to keep up with the pace of a classroom. Thank you.